There is no cost to the City of McAllen for this amendment. Commissioners approved an interlocal agreement with
And now from McAllen City Hall, a meeting of the McAllen City Commission.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's City Commission meeting. We'll call this meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation by Commissioner Sebi Haddad. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You bow your heads. Lord, we thank you for the blessing of community and for those who serve it. As our council gathers, we ask that you grant us wisdom, clarity, and compassion. May our decisions reflect the true needs and values of the people we humbly serve. We lift up our nation to you. In a time of division, we pray for unity, understanding, and healing. Teach us to show compassion and love to one another, even in disagreement, that we may build bridges where there are walls. Help us to see one another with grace and walk together in peace. We also bring before you our local firefighter involved in a recent accident. Surround him with your healing presence, comfort his loved ones, and strengthen the hands of those caring for him. In your holy name we pray, amen.
Amen. Now, before we start our proclamations, we have a birthday, June the 12th, Commissioner Tony Aguirre. Happy birthday, brother.
40 years old again.
40 years old, excellent.
Not 30.
And next we have South Texas Board of Chapter Texas Master Naturalist, Commissioner Cabeza de Vaca.
Come on, guys. Please join me. We have a lot of naturalists. Love it. Love it. I'm very happy to present this up.
Oh, say.
You got saved at home, bro. I know, right? Very happy to be here and present this proclamation. This awesome group of people is just they go beyond everything, to make sure that we have our natural resources and our natural things in McAllen, and they learn about it. They teach people about it, and that's the best thing to continue to have a great and beautiful and sustainable community. So thank you so much for what you guys do. Appreciate it. State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of McAllen. Whereas the Texas Master Naturalist Program, established in 1997, develops well-informed volunteers who provide education, outreach, and service dedicated to the stewardship of Texas natural resources. And whereas the program is sponsored by the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department and Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Services, include 49 chapters statewide, and has contributed over 6.9 million volunteer hours, benefiting millions of Texans and over 234,000 acres of natural habitat. And whereas the South Texas Border Chapter chartered in October 2015 serves Hidalgo, Starr, and Cameron counties with more than 70 active members who contribute as guides, educators, citizens, scientists, and conservation workers. And whereas since 2015, chapter members have contributed over 14,000 volunteer hours in the city of McAllen alone, impacting more than 4,500 residents and generating an estimate $300,000 in economic value. Now thereof, I, Pepe Cabeza de Vaca, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, Texas, by the virtue of the authority vested in me, and on behalf of the Mayor and the City Commission, thereby proclaim June 9, 2025, as South Texas Border Chapter Texas Master Naturalist 10th Anniversary. Congratulations, Ken.
My name is Ann Mayville, and I am the president of the South Texas Border Chapter of Texas Master Naturalist. On behalf of the members of our chapter of Texas Master Naturalists, I would like to thank the City of McAllen for this honor and for allowing us to volunteer and our time and expertise in your city. The Rio Grande Valley is one of the most environmental diverse regions of our planet. People worldwide come to McAllen to marvel at and study the incredible species of birds, butterflies, and native plants that make this place so special. We are grateful to play a small part in this through supporting the good work done at places like the McAllen Nature Center and Quinta Mazatlan. Truly remarkable places in which to learn and grow, and where many of our chapter members volunteer their time assisting in the educational and family programs offered by their incredible staff, some of whom are chapters members. We are also delighted to see so many native plants and butterfly gardens throughout your city. We take particular pride whenever we visit the butterfly garden at Vannie Cook Cancer Clinic. Several years ago, the foundation of the clinic approached the South Texas Border Texas Master Naturalist Chapter to renew the barren atrium of its center with plants and a water feature that would provide respite areas of nature for its patients and staff. The multi-year project became a collaboration among the chapters, the City of McAllen, and the local Master Gardener chapter. The project currently features native and non-native pollinator plants, fountains, and an ADA-compliant sidewalk, tables, and benches protected by a permanent awning. The enjoyment of nature and the comfort it brings to the patients and their families is priceless and serves as a source of inspiration and hope for children of all ages fighting this terrible disease. The ongoing work of our Texas Master Naturalists promotes and supports what many outside our community already know. We live in one of the most incredible places on earth. I'd like to recognize one of our chapter advisors, Sarah Stewart. She's from Texas. Where is she? Did she come up? She didn't come up. Well, she's out there anyway. She's from Texas AgriLife, Coastal and Marine. And the mission of the Texas Master Naturalist Program is to develop a core of well-informed volunteers to provide education, outreach, and service dedicated to the beneficial management of our natural resources in this community and in the state of Texas. Thank you again, City of McAllen.
And next we have McAllen All-Stars Youth Baseball Team, Commissioner Rios. Oh, yeah.
Are we ready? All right. All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor, City Commission, and members of the audience. It is my honor and privilege to recognize and celebrate the outstanding accomplishments of some of McAllen's youngest champions. Tonight, we shine a spotlight on the Mafia 956 6U baseball team, a group of talented and determined young athletes who have represented our city with pride, passion, and an incredible competitive spirit. It is with great admiration that I now read this official proclamation on behalf of the Mayor and the McAllen City Commission. State of Texas, County of Hidalgo, City of McAllen, whereas Mafia 956 is a 6U baseball team proudly representing McAllen, Texas, and has become one of the most dominant youth teams in the region through hard work, discipline, and an unbreakable team spirit. And whereas in just the past 8 months, these remarkable young athletes have achieved 12 tournament championships, 4 runner-up finishes, and an undefeated 8-0 record to secure first place in the McAllen League, while competing and winning in both T-ball and coach pitch divisions. And whereas the team has represented McAllen with pride across the Rio Grande Valley, Portland, and Houston, competing at the highest level of 6U baseball, and whereas Mafia 956 is more than a team, it is a family built on values of dedication, teamwork, and heart, consistently setting a new standard of excellence in youth baseball in South Texas. Now therefore, I, Rolando Rowley Rios, City Commissioner of the City of McAllen, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested in me, and on behalf of the Mayor and City Commission, do hereby proclaim June 9th, 2025 as McAllen All-Stars Mafia 956 Youth Baseball Team Day. And in witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of McAllen to be affixed on the 9th day of June 2025. Congratulations.
Hi, just really quick, because we actually have a game at 6 against San Juan. I'm Coach René Benavides, the head coach of these young boys, 5 and 6-year-olds that have been playing for 2 years already, working really hard, training, and it's unbelievable what they do on the field. If you have a chance to go see us today at 6:15 at San Juan, Wednesday at 7:45, I believe, 7:15, go check them out. They are very talented. We're very lucky to be able to coach these boys daily. We hope to represent the City of McAllen very proudly on July 15th through the 19th in Youngsville, Louisiana, where they will face teams from Houston, San Antonio, Louisiana, Mississippi, and we hope to bring back a championship to the City of McAllen. Thank you.
And next we have OWE's 45th anniversary. Come on up, ladies. Okay, what an honor for me to do this. OWE 45th anniversary. I don't know whether you know, but a lot of organizations don't last long. I'm sure that when this organization began, none of these ladies were born yet. But it gives me a great honor to read today's proclamation. Whereas funded in 1980, the Organization of Women Executives, OWE, has spent 45 years advancing the professional and business status of women in the Rio Grande Valley through leadership development, education, and economic empowerment for women executives throughout the region. OWE empowers women professionals through monthly luncheons, educational workshops, networking mixers, and a vibrant network that fosters personal and professional growth. OWE offers free seminars, monthly scholarships, social media promotions, advertising opportunities, and online directory that amplifies the visibility of its members' work. OWE recognizes members' engagement through quarterly and annual scholarships for ongoing business development and personal growth. OWE has contributed $1.6 million to the Rio Grande Valley through events, scholarship partnerships, and service, with a total economic impact surpassing $2.5 million. OWE remains a strong advocate for equity, opportunity, and prosperity for women and the community. Now, therefore, I, Javier Villalobos, Mayor of the City of McAllen, by virtue of the authority vested in me and on behalf of the City Commission, do hereby proclaim June the 9th, 2025 as Organization of Women Executive 45th Anniversary. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. On behalf of the Organization of Women Executives, thank you to the City of McAllen for this meaningful proclamation. We are honored to be recognized for 45 years of leadership, service, and community impact. This acknowledgement celebrates not only our history, but the women who paved the way and the future leaders we continue to empower. We're proud to be a part of a community that values and uplifts women in leadership. We have so many board members and charter members, people that have been with us over 10 years, and past presidents here with us today. So thank you guys for being here as well. Like the mayor said, we have impacted the community, and I just want to let you guys know about our mission. Our mission is to foster professional growth, leadership, development, and meaningful connections among women executives while making a lasting impact in the Rio Grande Valley through education, service, and community engagement. Thank you so much for this incredible honor.
I know. Okay, next item, we have public hearings.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Mayor. So on item A, we do have two items that we're going to have to pull, number 2 and number 6. We do have opposition on those two items.
Okay.
The rest of the items, item A1 is rezoning from C3 to C2. This is located on 2nd and Expressway 83. It's going to be for Freedom Bank. A3 is for rezoning of C1 to C1. This is at 3201 Trenton between 29th and Ware Road on the south side of Trenton. Item 4 is city-initiated rezoning from R1 to R1. This is on South Ware Road in Sarah. Item number 5 is conditional use permit for 3 years for a home occupation on 206 Harvey. It's on between right next to Harvey and 2nd Street. And that is for home office.
Okay, do we have anybody against any of these items? Anyone against any of these items? If not,
Move to approve.
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Against? Motion carries.
Okay, so item number 2 is rezoning from R1 to C1. This is located at 318 North 17th Street. This is just west of the Development Center on Date Palm. This property has been used as commercial since the early 80s, at least as per the tax appraisal. It might be even earlier than that. So this is just a little parcel right in the middle of R2 that is always been commercial. So they are proposing to zone it to C1. We do have opposition on this one, but it's just one of those pocket little neighborhood, it used to be like a bakery of some sort. So now they would like to rezone it to C1.
Okay, anybody against this item? Anyone against this item?
They had signed up for it.
Oh. Well, we're talking anybody against. Anybody against this item? No? What are the wishes of the council?
So moved. To approve it.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Next item.
Okay, item number 6 is, it's conditional use permit for STC at 3200 Pecan Boulevard. This is on the north side of Pecan, west of 29th. They're just going to be at an additional kinesiology building on the existing footprint of the existing campus. It's really right in the middle, so it really doesn't affect anybody. But we did have somebody to sign up to speak on this one.
Anybody to speak against this item? Anyone to speak against this item? Not, what are the wishes?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item B.
All right, B1 is a rezoning from R1 to R2. This is located at 1712 North 8th. On this one, we did get opposition on this. They are requesting to zone it to R3. However, it's just on the west side of, sorry, wrong one. On the west side of this one, there it's all, on the east side of this, it's all R1. So on this particular pocket, it's just everything to the west of 8th Street is, we do have a pocket of R2s. However, everything else is R1. So we did, the neighborhood did oppose this, and we got 25% on this one.
Okay, do we have anybody to speak against this item? Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah, if you would,
The young man said R3, this is R2. You said R3.
Sorry about that.
If we could please have your name and address for the record. Thank you.
My name is Cristina Escamilla. I live at 1704 North 8th Street, so it's right around there. Good evening.
Good evening.
good evening.
I hope your day has been well. I hope you make my day well. So I've lived in this neighborhood for 45 years, certainly long enough to appreciate changes that have happened over time. We would like to keep this neighborhood a residential neighborhood with single-family homes. The area proposed for rezoning would only congest and disrupt the neighborhood in a time when there is no shortage of new and affordable apartment developments with great amenities throughout the city of McAllen. We would hope that you would take the wishes of the residents of this area and the impact that would have on our daily lives into account as you take this vote. I also know that, I don't know if you have it written there, that the staff voted against it, and so did the P&Z.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm 45 years living in the same area also.
Ma'am,
Hello here?
if you could please
Or
give your
let
name
me
and
make it
address.
easy. Is it regarding the same issue?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're against it?
Against it?
No, yes, we are against it.
You two are against, okay. Just to
Okay.
make sure that,
Excuse me, one other thing, we also got a petition within the neighborhood.
Sure.
And we passed the same issue.
Anybody else against with any different issues? No? Do we have anybody for, developer, owner?
motion to deny?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Next item.
Item number 2 is the property located at 2604 Northward Road, just south of Harvey. It is currently zoned R1, and the applicant is proposing to rezone it to R3. They are wanting to do condominiums, however, it's just one lot. The east side of Northward Road is all single-family, except for one little lot that's the corner of Northward and Harvey that is zoned R3. The applicant is proposing to build multifamily condominiums on one lot. The Verona Heights subdivision has gotten preliminary on May the 6th at the Planning and Zoning Commission. At the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of May the 20th, we did have 2 neighbors in opposition. The board did ask the neighborhood if they would be willing to go down to R2, and they said no. So following the discussion, the board voted to disapprove the item.
Okay, anybody speak against this item? Anyone here to speak against this item?
We have one.
Gives me this instead. instead of that.
Sir, if we could please have your name and address once you get to the mic.
My name is Miguel Santos. I lived in McAllen for 82 years. I am very pleased to carry the last name of Villalobos also on behalf of my mother. And I used to go have coffee with your dad.
Recognize you.
The reason that all my neighbors are against this is the reason that we're all senior citizens, retirees. The majority, I would say about 90% of them. Right now, we're in coach because we have 20 units that are sheltered by the grandfather's clause right in front of us on Ware Road. He mentioned that there's also a lot where they built back in the 90s, Mr. Leo Garza, a fourplex, which in the middle of two residential lots. Now they want to open another street. I'm seeing the overall picture, and I'm seeing that we're going to have 3 dead-end streets coming up. They have to empty out into Ware Road. My other question is, there's a big issue that my neighbors at one time went ahead and left a 10-foot easement to the south for an alley. And they have asked me to ask you all, is that land going to be given back to them if this was to develop? And I would like to, if we could table this, and I would like to my neighbors to hear from you all, what are your plans on doing this? And I don't understand why only 3 acres, what's going to become of the rear 2 acres? Because adjacent to there's about 10 acres. Can you imagine if somebody wants to develop another residential area, and here in the middle of everything, we have an R3 on 3 acres? As it is right now, Ware Road is a bottleneck with Nicky Road. We're too old to fight. We're tired.
You look very good, sir. So, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Mr. Zamora has been there. You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You live in the Rosalinda subdivision?
Subdivision. For one reason or another, I didn't even want to bring this up, but we have been totally ignored. Because we don't have, just to give an example, back in the 90s, they ran sewer lines because the owner of the 20 units in front of us wanted sewer because his septic tanks were up to capacity and he wanted to drain into the adjacent empty lot. But I complained about it. He came out to the city. The city said, we're going to run sewer lines now. But they imposed a $200 per lot on all the owners on Rosalinda subdivision.
Did you or your neighbors put together a petition in opposition?
I have a petition. I have maybe 4 petitions where all the neighbors been signing against all those things that's been happening here in Rosalinda subdivision.
Mr. Sotelo?
I didn't get one.
You did not receive one?
I did not receive one, but he does have one with him with 17 signatures. We weren't able to verify as far as the percentages on that one.
Right.
Commissioner, given P&Z's recommendation, this item will still require supermajority.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because it's
sorry.
already, PNC voted against it, so it needs supermajority anyways.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't read that.
Thank
you.
Okay, anybody else against this item? Anybody for this item?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. Rene Barrera for the record. I reside at 4112 Karen Lane in Edinburgh. And I wish you guys would push your city limits a little further north because I'm right on the cusp of the city of McAllen. But anyway, I'm happy to be here. I'm here representing the developer for this 2.6 acre tract of land. And His intention is to develop a high-end, like, condominium community. And speaking with staff prior to the P&Z meeting, they said, well, would you consider an R2 to make it conform a little bit more to what we're looking for? And I confirmed with my client. He says, yeah, an R2 would be fine. That would be like a townhome type of residential development. And I presented that to P&Z board. They didn't like that. Commissioner Gamel recommended a PUD. However, a PUD, we would need 5 acres minimum to submit that for consideration. So, and the way this land is laid out, it's very narrow. It's 165 feet. If I was to do continue with an R1, 50 feet would be dedicated for right-of-way, which would only leave 1 row of lots and would be very undesirable for a single-family subdivision. So this is the reason why we're proposing, we would consider an R2 to develop a little smaller type of townhome lots that would work with this development. And I know the gentleman here was concerned about a 10-foot alley right-of-way that he is afraid that we would take back, but that's not part of this tract at all. It resides on Rosalinda, and we would respect that. That's going to be something that they would retain, and there would be no cross traffic onto Rosalinda. All access would be onto Ware Road, and this would be a nice development. It's going to be architectural control. It's not going to be high multifamily type of units like what's on Ware Road that they're complaining about. This is going to be something a little more affordable for young families with the same architectural facades on there. And of course, we would comply with city requirements as far as streets and drainage, utilities, what staff would recommend on that. I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
I assume the tract of land, I'm not good with direction, but I guess I would say behind your proposed tract, is that owned by the same owner?
So that one's it has a subdivision process on it. They are proposing to do R1 on that one, and they're going to get access off of Camellia, off of the east alley that's off on the east side of Camellia. So it kind of goes down. And
It goes. That one's going to exit off. There's a street that we can't see on our
Correct.
picture.
Yes, sir.
And their only exit's going to be to go through Camellia and through the neighborhoods.
Correct.
And they're going R1?
That one's off the R1, correct.
But you said it's going to be a single house.
Yes.
Someone's going through the subdivision process to build just their house, so it's only one person, one occupant. Because otherwise, I was going to ask how in the future there would be access to that lot, but it's going to go
There was
around.
talk that they were going to maybe have access off of this lot, but they really haven't said anything else on it.
Well, it's only one house.
Thing that, we're still in the schematics phase if this goes to R2, is a cul-de-sac at the end which would have access to the south for future connection. If the acreage to the south, were to develop a single family or, some type of development, we could, cross, have a continuation of traffic to the south as well, for future connection.
And then, so there is a 10-foot alley that remains with the
Yes, with-
Rosalinda side, right?
with Rosalinda,
so
yes.
that acts as somewhat of there's 10 feet of buffer there, then you take into account. there's gonna
And
be-
with that one, if they want, if it is not used at this particular development, they can ask to abandon it, and then the city could give it back to them if they wanted to. If we have no utility
Separate and
line.
outside of this project, has nothing
Correct.
to do with it, right?
Correct.
But I was trying to get to, there is somewhat of a buffer. I mean, this is just residential near residential. We've got it's a little bit of urbanization in my mind.
And of course, we'll have the 8-foot CMU fence requirement.
Well, that's
between
right.
The
But
residential.
I'm not necessarily unopposed to the R2 that was proposed to P&Z.
The other thing with the R2 is they're limited to 30 units if they don't have a secondary access. So no matter what, they'll have to provide
It's
a
got a
secondary.
cap.
I'm sorry?
It's got a cap,
Yeah.
basically.
So if they don't have a secondary access, then they're capped at 30.
They're going to be able to put 30 units there?
If it's on one lot, they can do condominiums, sort of apartments, so they could. But
Well, that's the
Well, schematics, it's going to be less than 30 that we've already drawn out. I think it was more like 20, 27, 28. But then we got to have detention as well.
Yeah.
I just generally have not seen where different type of living communities have necessarily disrupted each other. It's all residential up and down. I know most of it is single family, but
Is it townhomes, right?
Yes, sir.
Townhomes is kind of like an R1. It's just,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So at some point we have to get these
But that
tracks
was that
developed.
was the purpose of what we did this past year.
What?
Kind of more density, more.
That's right.
Yeah,
More
this is the-
urbanization, using, you know.
It's going through the new UDC code, which would, conform to that use.
It's not the proposal. Can we make a motion for the R2?
Yes.
I would make a
Yes, you
motion to allow the R2 rezoning.
we do that? Second. R3, no, but R2.
You have a motion and a second for an R2.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We'll need a record
Oh.
vote because this requires a supermajority.
Oh, that's right.
You go like this and say aye.
It's up to you.
It's up to you, of course.
Mr. Zamora.
Mayor, could you please recall the vote?
So you have to,
What's that?
he's with JJ. So we need to do a vote.
We need a record.
Needs a
vote.
record vote?
Yeah.
Can you say
Yes.
Yeah, okay, if we can, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay. Nay.
It fails.
It fails.
Yep.
Motion fails.
Motion fails.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have, need a motion to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of McAllen.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Consent agenda items, items A through F. Do we need to
I had
pull
a couple
anything out?
questions on B.
Okay, we'll
Pull
pull
B.
out, we'll pull out B. Any others? If not, do I have a motion to approve items A through F minus B?
So move.
Here's a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item B.
Becky's here, she's coming up. What's your question?
Just real general. I know we have, is it Insight? I know there's a software that we do have right now. So how does this supplement it, or what is it going to do different, or is it replacing it? Kind of what is it that we're sold on, right? That we're signing up for?
Yes, good afternoon. We are moving on from Buxton, which is a
Okay,
software
that's
that
the
we
one.
had, and this is the new one that we've selected.
Okay, that's what I was curious about. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Against? Motion carries. Item 3.
Mayor, this is consideration of an awarded contract for Suarez Park sidewalk and parking lot improvements. Denny?
Mayor, Commissioners, this item here before you is to consider and approve award of contract to Celso Gonzalez Construction of Mission, Texas for the Suarez Park sidewalk and parking lot improvements. The Parks and Recreation Department solicited formal bids for sidewalk and parking lot improvements for Suarez Park, which was 16, and Celso Gonzalez came in at the lowest bid. The Parks and Recreation Department recommends award of contract to Celso Gonzalez Construction for $61,107.
Any questions?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item B.
Mayor, Commission, this is consideration of award contract for architectural design services for the indoor shooting range for the police department.
Mayor and Commission, good evening. The item before you is a facility program, approximately 28,000 square feet. It'll have 15 training lanes for both handgun and rifle firearm training. This site is at 2800 West Oxford, or the police training facility. Staff negotiated a lump sum fee of $840,000, or 8% of the estimated construction cost, with an additional $8,000 of reimbursables, which do not need to be used, but we'll monitor. Staff recommends award a contract to Negrete Kohler Architects LLP of Austin, Texas, in the total amount of $848,000, and we open it up for any questions.
Yeah, Mayor, Commissioner, I just want to remind the Commission that this item was previously considered in its prior form, and that was authorizing staff to negotiate with Negrete, who was the architect selected through the procurement process. So staff has negotiated what they consider to be a reasonable contract. That's what's up for consideration today. This is design only. I will say that we continue or have left the door open to additional participation in this building, and we'll design it such that it could be expanded should an additional participant want to join the project.
Excellent. Do we have any questions? If not, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item C.
Mayor, item C is consideration approval change order number 1 and final for the 2025 single machine repaving.
Mayor and Commissioner, if you'd like, I can do C and D together.
It makes sense, Eduardo.
It's a joint item. So this item is reconciliation of our single machine contract. This is where we go out and repave the streets. On the asphalt, we had a $21,051.48 deduct. And on the actual labor of the cost, we had $150,000 increase. If you look at the item D, you'll notice that net, it's $129,195.21 increase for that. And we open it up for any questions.
I'm sure you all looked into it. Everything good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and Eduardo, this includes accelerating the repaving on the subdivision off of Main and J, which wasn't originally included and was going to be done later, but we'll now be able to do that early.
Correct. We've already done all the way to Main Street from the Bicentennial Ditch to Main Street. So if you go out there now, it's repaved. It looks like a brand-new street, or it is a brand-new street, and the drainage has been installed in that area.
So not just a change order, but additional.
It's
Correct?
additional,
Okay.
yes,
Do
sir.
I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 4.
Mayor, Commission, item 4 is consideration of an ordinance providing for the mid-year budget adjustment. You've got the information there. Major items within that I'll point out to you. You'll notice a decrease there in revenue. That is primarily due to the fact that we had budgeted to sell the Parks Administration Building. That sale fell through and has not occurred yet. And you'll see that the lion's share of the increase in expenditures on the appropriation side is due to the authority the commission gave us a couple of meetings ago with respect to the health insurance fund. So that's the lion's share of the changes. The rest of it were some really minor items, but if there's anything the commission would like to discuss, we're happy to do that.
Any questions?
Is the Parks and Recreation Building, is it up for sale again?
It is listed, sir. Yes, sir.
It's listed already?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
At the time that the budget was approved for this fiscal year, was the issue about the charter amendment contemplated?
No, sir.
It was not.
No, sir. That came up after, and we would not have known the cost of that election until we were forced to negotiate that with the county and ultimately settle on that price.
Am I to come to understand that the total cost of that charter amendment election was $181,000? That is
Yes, sir.
that correct?
And that was a negotiated figure. I think the original estimate was more like a quarter.
240.
240?
240?
Yeah, so that is a negotiated number.
Very well. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 5 is, do I hear a motion to approve? Resolution.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Managers
Thank
report.
you.
Do we have anything?
Yes, sir. Sonia's here to give you the quarterly investment report that the audit committee just considered.
Good evening, Mayor and City Commission. The quarterly investment report for the quarter ending December 31st, 2024 is in compliance with the Public Funds Investment Act and the city's investment policy. The ending book value for the quarter was $484,526,680. The weighted average yield to maturity was 4.29%. The quarterly investment report was reviewed by the Audit Investment Committee on May 29th, and they recommend approval.
Okay.
Any questions?
Questions? Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to accept?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Advisory Board appointments.
Ms. Perla?
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Commission. This item is for Advisory Board appointments. Mayor, you currently have a vacancy on the Disability Board. Commissioner Zamora, you have a vacancy on the Traffic Commission Board. Commissioner Rios, you nominated Jose Ochoa to serve on the Traffic Commission Board. And Mayor Pro Tem Haddad, you also have a vacancy on CDBG Board. And Commissioner Cabeza de Vaca, you have a vacancy on the Traffic Board. I do want to just make a note that we do have 5 vacancies on traffic.
And keep McAllen beautiful?
And yes, and keep McAllen beautiful.
Do we have any other nominations from the commission?
I just found out, so I'll have something for the next.
We need to appoint somebody to the traffic board because they're dangerously not
Yes,
able
we
to
have
get a
5
quorum.
vacancies.
Right. Yeah, so if you all have a problem getting somebody, I may have 1 or 2 people.
Well, let's get to Perla as soon as we can regarding
Yes.
that issue, please.
Commissioner Castillo has two
Has two?
vacancies on
Okay.
traffic.
On traffic also?
Yes.
Okay, no.
Mándale un text.
We're having a problem.
De una vez.
You
Well, good,
provide me
do-
a list, I'll get back to you before the next meeting.
Do I hear a motion to approve nominations by Commissioner Rios?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Future agenda items? Future agenda items? If
Mayor.
not, we'll go to executive session items.
Mayor, no items required, no
On,
action.
on the
Yeah.
future agenda, and not on the future, on the advisory boards, we also had the one for the McAllen Chamber of Commerce. I don't know if city
There
manager was
is,
going to address that one.
That is true. Mayor, with Commissioner Quintanilla's departure from the commission, that does leave a vacancy on the Chamber of Commerce Board, and we did receive correspondence from the Chamber of Commerce asking for the commission to consider appointing a member from the commission to serve on the chamber.
Well, we're still here. Does anybody?
I can serve on that board.
I'll nominate Commissioner Pepe Cabeza de la.
Second.
If needs a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Excellent. Thank you so much. And there being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
There's
Was
no
it?
action required from executive session, Mayor.
Yeah.
Oh, there was no action, that's right. We're good.
This meeting is adjourned.
Okay.
Regular City Commission meetings are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Meetings are rebroadcast on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the McAllen Cable Network.